And I note too, Madam Deputy Speaker, that the member for Wentworth is continuing this furphy of fixed versus wireless broadband. He's still incapable of understanding that they are complementary and that fixed wireless services are actually those which are being used and go through a short-range wireless router. One doesn't use one's iPad simply in a vacuum. One is using it to connect to a short-range wireless router. And so limited is the member for Wentworth's understanding of all these issues that again is peddling this myth that the National Broadband Network is all about the download. It's not about the download, it's about the upload. It's about the upload and the new applications beyond your typical non-imaginative thinking that is incapable of going beyond the internet as a sole application. He then went on to discuss the National Broadband Network because he couldn't help himself. And I note, as does the member for McEwen, because we were in the committee when this was actually being debated a few days ago, and we note the member for Wentworth was not, talking about the ramp up. Well, I know that it's being ramped up because every time I go down the streets of Blacktown, you can see the cable being rolled out. So it's plainly obvious that it's being ramped up. And as I said in the Federation Chamber when we were discussing the committee report, it's one thing that the backbenchers opposite go into their electorates and complain that they're not getting the NBN fast enough, taking up petitions wanting the NBN, and then they come in here and do something completely different. Complain they want it when they're outside, and in here they vote against it. Now, I note, Madam Deputy Speaker, that the member for Wentworth couldn't help but then look at the National Broadband Network and then mention media rules and talking about free speech. And I won't go into too much detail, Madam Deputy Speaker, considering your view on that, as you made clear, but it's one thing for the member for Wentworth to want free speech for everyone else, but no free speech when someone's criticising him. Because as we can see from Delimiter, 13th of March 2013, and amongst other places, noting the ABC's Media Watch program going into detail to examine the coverage of ABC Technology and Games editor Nick Ross with respect to the NBN. And I won't go into too much detail now, Madam Deputy Speaker, but if people want to look that up, they can see that it's one rule for the member for Wentworth and another rule for